Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got the fire going finally. If there's ever any doubt, always keep lighter fluid and where'd it go?
Charcoal?
No, torch. Lighter fluid and a torch. That'll always get it going. But anyway, guys, we thought we'd do some Q&A. See if we can get through some comments here. We got Kendra, everything fired up here on the computer. We're down here at the river. You guys can hear the river in the background. Got a good camp spot. Awesome spot over here at Jellystone. The tent is set up and ready to roll. So, yeah, without further ado, let's dive into some questions.
All right, first question is Keith Sanders. Keith asks, do you and Kristen ever get a chance to take some days off? Also, have any quote-unquote rear office types ever showed up at your property and caused a problem?
Well, Keith, it's funny you asked that question because this is the first time we have camped in a very long time.
2015.
2015 we did a huge out west trip. We hit the Badlands, Yellowstone, Craters of the Moon, Devil's Tower. We had a blast. We went for about 3 weeks and hoping to get back in that, hoping to do that again soon. So stay tuned to the channel because if we do get that trip planned like we think we want to, or think we're going to, then we will definitely get that on the channel. But it doesn't happen very often. Tonight is the first time that we really have taken a night off. And like I said, guys, it's I apologize if you need me back in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. I am not there tonight. I am here enjoying this campground and stream and weird people. We've had several confrontations come back to the shop, but I mean it's a given. They're mad. Got their car towed, and I totally understand. I would be mad too. But really nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing crazy. Except for the crazy blue Charger church, bless you, go to hell lady.
Yeah.
That was probably our craziest. Yeah. Was probably our craziest one.
The do you know who I am type.
Yeah.
Yeah. That type.
Yeah. But yeah, Keith, we appreciate you, buddy. I guess we're moving on.
All right. Chet says, have you ever lost a vehicle, have it come unhooked while towing? Anyone ever get violent with you? Anyone try to steal their vehicle back? What's the craziest tow you have done?
I've never lost anything. I've never lost anything off a tow truck. I've
knock on wood.
Oh, I thought she was pointing at something. It was like something crawling up my leg. What's going on? No, I had a fellow borrow a tow dolly from me. We had one for odd and end stuff before we got too crazy into the wreckers. And of course, if you've got one, they're kind of like car trailers. If you've got one, your buddies want to borrow it. And it was one of those things. I let him borrow it, and he was going down the road, and the car fell off of the tow dolly, and he was able to hit the brakes, and the car came back up onto the tow dolly, and he was able to stop. But as far as me, I've never, knock on wood. Kristen's always there, making sure everything's strapped and chained extra well. So I've never lost anything.
Anyone ever get violent with you?
My mom's not going to like this one.
Debbie, shut it off right now.
Shut this one off. We did a few repossessions. We had a couple of companies out of the Knoxville area. We used to run over and do some repos late at night just for some extra cash. And one night we were repoing, I think it was a Yukon. We pulled up to the apartment complex. I had keys, we had GPS tracker, we knew where it was, got in the vehicle, started it up. Those folks came out of the complex. They dove through the passenger window, grabbed the keys out of the ignition, and I went to confront him to get the keys back. He pulled a handgun on me. We jumped back into the truck, called 911. Long story short, like I said, it had GPS on it, so we were able to we just sat there in the parking lot and waited. for him to park. And lo and behold, we found the car. We did our repo. We got back home. So that was the craziest confrontation. And I don't do repossessions anymore because of that one right there. They're not worth it. So we got out of that.
Plus the guy that shot her in the neck with the BB gun.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was just a lockout.
Yeah, we were just on a lockout, and a fellow, he said that they were playing around, but I don't believe it. He had an airsoft gun, and he pointed it into the tow truck and shot. I was doing a lockout. Kristen was in the tow truck, and it went through, because I had the door open. It went through, and it shot her in the neck. That's a whole nother story. We went to court. That kid almost faced some pretty serious charges. He ended up getting off with some probation, those sort of things. But yeah. Anyway, I could blab on all night about that. But.
Anyone ever try to steal their vehicle back?
I have not. There's usually always somebody at the shop, and we've got a really nice camera system. We've seen some people that pull up, and they do come up onto the lot and they'll nose around into their car, but we always know who's there, so we've not had anybody take their car, and that's a good thing.
Craziest tow you've ever done?
Craziest tow? That's a tough one. We do a lot of crazy tows, crazy winch outs and recoveries anyway.
The tow that comes to mind to me was the big dually that the lady was door dashing in. We didn't record it, but we should have. She was broken down in Gatlinburg up the top of that thing, crosswise.
Okay. So yeah, that would be definitely the craziest tow, now that you say that. Yeah, I think we got some video of it unloading it or something, because I remember some of the comments. Why is she door dashing in a 3500 four-door dually? But anyway, loading that one up, yeah, I wish we'd have got that, because the steering was broke. It broke clean off at the shaft, so I had nothing, and it was sitting on a super steep incline sideways up at a resort, and it took us several to get that loaded up, and so that's probably one of the crazier tows.
All right, Armando Perez asks, do you guys plan on expanding the group?
So Armando, just this year we have finally gotten to the point where we've gotten some decent garage space, and after 10 years of coercing, I finally talked my brother-in-law into coming down and joining forces with me here. So yes, we are expanding, and he's going to take up some of what I can't get for towing versus repairs. So we're gonna take on a few more, and we're growing every year.
Plus, you'll see him in the channel too, Nate's Towing.
Yeah, Nate's Towing. He helps us out a lot. He's been in a lot of videos here recently. So.
All right, Lisa Wilson asks, how did you choose your profession?
Well, Lisa, I think I've said it a few times. I've always just kind of grew up around it. I was 3 or 4 years old, and my grandpa used to come get me from kindergarten in his tow truck. He had a towing service / repair / junkyard. So I grew up around it. I'm in my diaper and running around in the junkyard or tow truck or garage, whatever it is. So it's just kind of in my blood. I've always been around it, and I've always loved to do it. If we can remember, I've got some pictures that I can post with this comment. Kendra does a fantastic job, so she'll get you one of my wee little me pictures in a tow truck with Grandpa.
All right, Kathy Runyon, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. She asks, were you both born and raised in Tennessee?
We were not. So Kathy, I grew up in a little town called Mitchell in Indiana, southern Indiana, about an hour and a half south of Indianapolis or north of Louisville. I'm sorry, I've got Knoxville in my brain. But super small little town there. That's where my grandpa had his shop, and that's where we kind of grew up. We went over into another little town about 30 minutes north it's called Bedford, and that's where I had my shop up there for several years. We come down here. We've been down here in Tennessee about 10 years now. So we've always loved the area. We were coming down here for vacation 2 or 3 times a year, so we just decided, hey, there's more business here in the Smoky Mountains than there were in my little town in Indiana. So we love the area. Been here about 10 years.
All right, Richard Thomas. Love Richard Thomas. He comments on every one of our videos.
Love you, Richard.
He says, has anyone tried to sue you by claiming damage to their vehicle, something that you did not do and had video proof that the damage was there before you towed them?
Richard, this is the perfect example of why our YouTube channel exists. So we've had quite a few people that have claimed. One comes to mind was an insurance company had called me and said their client's Mercedes had 4 scratched wheels. We have video footage, so we were able to turn that in and say, hey, the damage was there. We use auto loader. We don't touch any of the rims. There's no straps that come in contact with those. So with our video, we were able to cure that problem. And this goes with all of our stuff. This is why we video. We pick up an illegal park. There's always somebody that's going to say, that wasn't there. You did that. I'm mad because you towed my car, and that damage is on you, and I want you. So these YouTube videos really save our hind end. So that's why we love to film, and just so happens you guys love to watch.
All right, Christy Harris asks, what did Kristen do before she was a tow woman?
So Kristen was a sew woman before she was a tow woman. So we giggled when we got this going down here. We always said it should be Smoky Mountain Sewing and Towing. So she did custom doll outfits and or little
baby and
girl outfits too. So if you guys see any of the dance competitions, schools, they all put together the big dance competitions, and the little girls love it. And all the little girls have dolls that they want to match their outfits. So she would make their outfits, the doll outfits. Maybe we've got some pictures of that we can post in there too. But Kristen does an amazing job on sewing. She's sewed a lot of things and a lot of outfits, and she's got all the machinery for embroidery and stickers and all that fancy stuff. So she's all of our trucks are labeled because of Kristen. She does a great job with all of her editing software and making those things. And so yeah, she's really big into sewing. The jack cover, if you guys pay attention to the back of my tow truck, she made my jack cover. She made the Polaris window frames. If you guys paid attention to the Polaris, she made those. So she's very crafty.
And if you go to the merch shop, some of her outfits that she made are in the review section, so you can go and take a look at the merch shop and the doll posts.
So yeah, if you guys if you've contacted me and wanted a hat or a shirt, you might have gotten redirected to her Etsy shop, because we just put all of the merch initially into her Etsy shop. So if you wanted a shirt and you got sent to a place that had a doll outfit, that's probably why.
Christy Harris also asks, what brought you to the Smoky Mountains?
So yeah, Christy, I guess we kind of answered that in the previous one, but we've always loved the area. We'd come down here 2 and 3 times to vacation, and just ultimately it's where we wanted to end up. So hey, we made it.
All right, Will Foster asks, do y'all plan on getting contracted with the PD?
The PD, so again, Gatlinburg, we love you. Every time we go over to Gatlinburg to do something, they're usually really short-handed, and they beg us to get on rotation. We love helping out, but at the same time, I'm not so sure we want to dive into the PD calls right now. We've got Nate here now, which is really spinning my wheels in a different direction. So possibly, we're really considering it, but as of right now, it's not yet.
Also, Will goes on to ask, are you guys satisfied with the Jerdan record?
I am super satisfied with it. Everybody's got their thing, everybody's a Ford guy, Chevy guy, Dodge guy, and then everybody will say no, you can't be driving that, and it's the same way in the record world. We've got Miller and Jerdan and several others. But yes, short answer, that thing has done amazing for us. I don't know that there's anything out there that I have went for that I haven't gotten, either in the tow world or the recovery. So thumbs up, Jerdan.
I feel like we test its limits.
Yeah.
I feel like we push it to the edge, and it always comes through for us.
Yeah, if you guys have watched the channel, there's definitely things that I should not be picking up with it that it has picked up. So yeah, super cool.
So kind of going off of that one, Karen Palmberg says, has there ever been a situation that you could not do a pull or tow because of the car owner? Are there some that just make you say no?
There are. We've turned down quite a few. Some of the bigger, crazier stuff. Shorty, we love you. we turn a lot of stuff over. He's got some amazing equipment over there that helps us out at a pinch. So yeah, there's definitely stuff that we turn down. But hopefully we'll get better. We're still growing.
Tim Pellet asks, I'm wondering how you got into the business. So this is something we kind of already answered. But.
Yeah, we kind of went over that already. But yeah, Tim, like I said, we've always been in it since day one. I've been around it, always loved it, always loved the trucks, always loved turning wrenches. It's just very rewarding to help people or to fix people's problems.
Gregory Ellis had the exact same question, so that's the answer to that, Gregory. Randy asks, which truck do you enjoy driving the most, the rollback or the Ram?
Man, I tell you, the rollback is a sweetheart. It really is. It's got the air ride on the back of it, so it treats me really well. It's a comfortable truck. My choice of engines for that truck is not quite there. I've always threatened to rip it out and put the Cummins motor in it. Of course, all of the new Internationals, they're switching to the better motors and transmissions. So that's my only downfall with that truck. Not that it doesn't run amazing, it does, but it's got the 6.4. So we use it when we need it.
All right, Mark Murphy has 4 questions.
Uh-oh, Mark.
The first one, has anyone intentionally parked illegally to get in one of your videos?
They've always threatened that, but I've not seen. So I've gotten people to send me pictures that they're there, but our security guy hasn't caught on to know either that or they're fast at getting in and getting out.
Number 2, do you set the price, or is that determined by some sort of municipal entity?
We set the price, and we've gotten a little bit of feedback from this, and it's just one of those things that we have to sit in traffic and endure a lot. So I mean, if you guys have been into the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, sometimes to get over there, you're looking at 2 hours of sitting in traffic. And then there's sometimes I'll sit in that traffic for 2 hours to be 5 minutes from the vehicle, and they'll say, nope, it's already moved, it's gone, we don't need you anymore. So, I win some, I lose some, but at the same time, we set those prices, and I feel like it's fair for what we're providing.
Number 3, has a politician or any other big shot tried to pull the "don't you know who I am" stunt to get out of a tow?
So we've had a lot of that. We've had police officers, supposed to be police officers. We've had was she a mayor?
A county commissioner.
A county commissioner. We've had another guy that said he was
with the government.
It didn't say. He just said that. Didn't you see my tags? This is a government vehicle, and he didn't really say what he was in the government. But yeah, we've had a handful.
And his last question, what would you do if you had just hooked up a vehicle and one of your personal heroes came running out begging for you not to tow him?
Oh, I would definitely not tow him. We've got an amazing group of subscribers. You guys always, every day is hands down something new, and you guys are amazing, either commenting or sending us stuff or swinging by the shop and saying, hey, so we love you guys, and if you are on the hook, I would let you go.
But you gotta move.
But you gotta move. Can't stay there.
Rusty Zipper says, how much actual profit is there in what you do as an owner-operator at the end of the year just from towing?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely profitable. If it wasn't profitable, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Every state would be different, I guess. Short answer to that question. You know, if I was still living in Mitchell, Indiana, I probably couldn't make it. As a matter of fact, I know I couldn't make it. And if you guys are in the towing business, you know exactly what I mean. There'll be one or two big towing companies for that area, and they are locked in. They get all of the calls, they get all of the business, and for a smaller company, it just wouldn't happen. But for it's a very unique area, but it's profitable, and we do well.
This has kind of already been answered, but Lady Hikes says, how did you start your business?
Yeah, it's kind of already been there. So yeah, we just moved. We just picked up shop and moved essentially. So I was already established, and in Bedford we had the repair shop, and we do some light towing, and had a really cool thing going there. I miss my Bedford guys sometimes. You know, it's the garage atmosphere, and I'm going to ramble here, but yeah, we had a good thing going. But yeah, it works out really well.
Big John says, on the trucks you load on the rollback, do you have to drop the drive shaft to get it to roll?
I do not. So on the trucks that you guys see, I get questions. They're like, how did you load that? The back wheels, they weren't dragging. So on my bigger trucks, the linkage is very accessible from underneath the vehicle. So you're able to put the vehicle into neutral from underneath the vehicle, and then I can simply pull it up on, so there's no stress or anything on the drivetrain. And then once I get it onto the bed, like I said, it's all accessible from underneath, and a lot of people don't realize that, or are not mechanically inclined, or don't care to be. But the linkage is very accessible from not all of them. Now the front wheel drive cars and SUVs and things like that, no, it's up under the hood, and it's pretty invasive to get to. But the bigger trucks, that's why you see those rolling up onto the rollback bed, is because I'm able to put it into neutral from underneath.
Jerry Southside asks, does your property not have much room to store vehicles? Sometimes on your videos we see maybe 2 or 3 vehicles you have towed, but not much room for any more.
So yeah, we're very limited on space where we are, and the beauty about, now this kind of comes back to a lot of the people asking me why, are we going to do PD calls? This is a hand in hand with that. Once we find a bigger location and a bigger lot, then I would be more apt to get back to that. But yes, our lot now is limited on space, but it 100% works for me or us and what we do, because most of the time we're picking up an illegal part. Those people are going to realize that their car is gone within an hour or two, and they're going to come back and they're going to get it. So I don't have it very long. So I don't have, a super crowded up lot versus, PD calls where we got a lot of crashed vehicles laying around and a lot of junk. But I get that. We do get there sometimes. We've got a lot of stuff currently that needs to go to the scrap yard. So it gets crowded, but we get creative.
Tina Ratliff says, how did you and Kristen meet?
Me and Kristen met Tina.
Do I need to answer this? Or do you know?
So, Burger King. We both worked at a Burger King restaurant in Bedford, Indiana. In high school, went out on a first date, and that first date entailed Forrest Gump as a movie. Kristen had already seen it about 12 times with other guys.
No, that was the only movie I hadn't seen. I had seen all the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
She had been on a few dates that week. But, yes, Forrest Gump, and probably Fazoli's for a meal, and yeah, Burger King all the way. We both worked at Burger King.
1994?
1994, yeah. But we went to different high schools, so we wouldn't have met otherwise.
Yeah, we would have never crossed paths other than both working at Burger King.
This
I
one,
can still flip a mean Whopper, by the way.
this one has already been answered in the comments, but Bernard Stevens asks, why do you not take credit cards?
So, Bernard, we do take credit cards on every other thing except for illegal parks. And I've tried, it's kind of tough because, we'll get these and I'll try to answer them in the comments, but word doesn't spread fast enough. And I think I did a video, but if you don't do it every video, I understand. It seems weird. So when you hear me say, we don't take credit cards in a video, if you haven't heard the explanation, it sounds crazy. But the explanation is credit cards, they will contest the charges on an illegal park almost every time. So if they pay with credit card, they're going to say, well, I was parked where I should have been, and they'll file the charges with their credit card, and we'll get a charge back. And then at the end of the day, we're doing it for free. So those are the only ones that we do not accept on our illegal parks. Everything else, by all means, send me your credit card.
Somebody asked, why don't you wear your seatbelt?
So you will get me every time on a seatbelt. I am like the most anti-seatbelt person you'll probably come across, actually. We've done a lot of off-roading and things like that where seatbelts are very important. They really are. And I guess the short answer is I'm very lazy, and I'm in and out of the truck a lot. So if you'll see my videos, I've usually got my seatbelt latched already before I get into the seat. And my wonderful wife will say, before you get on video, you might want to put your seatbelt on. So then you see me slide my seatbelt up over, and the lap belt's not there, but I'm sliding. So anyway, guys, no, I'm lazy. I should wear my seatbelt. I will try better. Maybe.
That's all the questions.
So that's all the questions for now on the Q&A. I think we're gonna try to move over to some mean mugging comments. I will try my best to answer those, guys. We love hearing from you. We love answering these things, and again, there's a lot of videos that I need to put out there on some of this stuff. Who we are, where we've been, what we're going to do. I would love to get some of those pictures and another explanation video out there, because we do get a lot of those. But we appreciate those comments. Make sure you keep them coming, because we'll get another big group of them together, and hopefully we'll get a fantastic riverside campground campfire, and we'll answer some more of those.